Welcome, everyone, to your midweek matchup. It is Wednesday night is overbooked. Now, before we get to all the festivities, last week we were supposed to drink real American beer by one Hulk Hogan. That just didn't work for us, brother. So we decided on a beverage from an equally loathsome person, and that is Terramana Tequila. So I'm not going to disgrace my own shot glass. I'm not going to disgrace my own shot glass with this swill. So here I have mine. Ego, you have yours.
Sure,
Brad, you have yours.
With all the medication I'm on, guys, I can't drink right now.
No
worries.
Smart.
Well, I'd risk it for $300 bourbon, but that's about it.
So here we go. Salud,
Same
gentlemen.
bourbon.
Hello.
Swill is a correct term. Ooh. It has a peppery taste to it.
There's something flowery about it too.
I'm thinking
self-loathing.
I'm thinking maybe
Wait.
if you wanted to do a Latino bloody Mary, this might be a good tequila to use, but other than that,
It's like snowing sweat.
He said it. And with that, folks, welcome everybody. We've got a few folks in the chat already right here. We got Mr. Jacob Ironside with that wrench monitor in the chat. Also, by the way, our brand new logo, courtesy of Mr. Jacob Ironside.
Wait, Jacob, a big announcement.
What's
You
that?
have hit 700 subs.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, dude. It's awesome.
There you go.
700 subs, probably a bot, and by about 2 a.m. tomorrow, it'll go back down to 699. So
Yeah.
So who knows? But yes, our new logo, courtesy of Mr. Jacob Ironside right there. Thank you, sir. We also have Mr. Kai's C4C Studios. Been a while. What's up, people? Great things, my friend. Great things, my friend.
Fantastic.
So we have to my stage right here the man who's done our little video montages and stuff, the wonderful, the talented, the Left Eye Ego this time. As last week he was the Left Eye Uso. How are you, sir?
Doing good. I saw the matches before we got on, so ready to talk some Elimination Chamber and what's next with WWE.
All righty. And right below him, we have the man who I have on good authority was seen at least once a week in Chapel Hill because Taco Tuesday was better there than on Duke's campus. That is the Duke Devil 95, Bradley Burnett.
I vehemently deny that, but the girls were much cuter.
And right below him, if it rains and pours on Matt, the unbearable 753. How are you, sir?
Doing better. Recovering from a little flu. Welcome to some wrestling. Get the good mood going tonight. Yeah.
Right on. I want to thank everyone who's in the chat right now. Again, hit those like buttons, hit all the subscribes, hit all the stuff. Let's go for double digits and likes again. This is always a fun time. And of course, because
I say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
or all right, that was it.
The hell is that?
Oh, that was my phone's message.
Okay, I like it.
Funny if that was our friend Roman texting me.
Okay, nice. I like it.
Okay,
I like it.
cool.
We've already those way, guys. Good start so far. We were already at 4 likes already. Good start. Let's keep this going, guys. Again, liking, subscribing, engaging, chatting. It's all free. And if you're looking after the show, drop a comment. It just keeps pushing stuff into the algorithm as Ego's grabbing a drink to wash down the of tequila,
Fair.
which is disgusting. So last week, Mr. Left Eye Uso last week had himself a nice little moment, and we have more Roman talking. This is great. So, but this past Monday on Raw, in our group chat or whatever, Mr. Duke Devil right here said somebody was their hero. So I'm going to give him a few moments to take his little lap with what happened in the opening segment of Monday Night Raw. Mr. Duke Devil 95, take it away.
Well, now, what you have to remember is the other week I was talking about how Jey Uso could come out at number 1 at the Rumble, keep yeeting, and the number 30 would come out and he would still be yeeting. So Monday we had Yeetapalooza, which
Again.
apparently is so freaking over with the crowd. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, look, he's playing to the kids. Kids are having fun. I'm good with the kids having fun. But it was going on too long. And we now realize why it was going on too long. Because we now have the anti-yeet, Gunther. Gunther came out of nowhere and knocked the shit out of Jey Uso. And you didn't even see him when you're watching it. You didn't even see him. He just came up from behind because he's on the announce desk with Michael Cole and McAfee there. And they're like, look out, Jay. And then all of a sudden, Gunther attacks him. And, you know, it's like, finally, someone has stopped the yeet.
Now,
so
I will say this.
I am now a Gunther fan.
Now, I will say this right up until Jay got dumped on the announce table. The camera work that they did from like crowd level, so you never saw Gunther coming. Wonderful touch on that. We have someone else in the chat who's been bugging Matt. And ahoy, weirdos. Hello, Roman of the Empire. How are you, sir? By the way, you can catch LeftEyeEgo, Matt, and I tomorrow night on his channel. We'll be talking about the very cheesy, very fun, very naked movie, Life Force.
You know,
I don't know how we're gonna get that past the YouTube
I don't either.
Answers, but it's a work in progress. So we have got some news to talk about. Last Friday, the WWE decided to clean house, as over the last week, a dozen WWE talent was released from their contracts. Now, the way that they talk about this, depending on where you are, if you're in NXT, you generally have a 30-day non-compete clause. If you go with the main roster, it's about a 90-day. So last week from NXT, we had Duke Hudson, who was part of Chase U, Cedric Alexander, who was actually on a main roster contract, but was just being used in NXT. The tag team, the Authors of Pain, and their manager, Paul Ellering. One half of the former women's tag team champions, Isla Dawn, Giovanni Vinci, AJ Styles' friends, the OC, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, Sonya Deville, and Blair Davenport. Now, a lot of folks have got their... And it sucks that folks lose their job.
Yeah.
But in the world of professional wrestling, these folks will all land on their feet somewhere. I personally...
Let me just reiterate, Joker. The contracts they're being cut for, they're probably paying a lot of money compared to anywhere else other than AEW if they would get money.
Really?
So,
yeah.
So there are three that I specifically wanted to mention. One, Cedric Alexander. I'm sure after 90 days, he was good friends with Bobby Lashley, Benjamin, and MVP, as he was part of the original Hurt Business in WWE. The most logical place for him to land would be in AEW with the Hurt Syndicate. That may depend on Cedric's wife and how she feels about that, because she was with AEW and they did not have a very nice parting of the ways there. Sonya Deville. This was someone who really did go through a lot of hard stuff. She had like a crazy stalker on her for a while. He was like, was trying to break into her house. He had zip ties and a bunch of stuff having to do with the Mandy Rose feud that she was in. Then she was brought back, and probably her best role was this Adam Pearce assistant GM type of executive role. She got put with the Pure Fusion Collection. Yes, they use those as handcuffs.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised Shotzi Blackheart is still there, but not Sonya. Well, here's the thing with Sonya. Her last two singles matches were just not good. Her second to last match, she was in a match with Lyra Valkyria, and she was sandbagging, not in the way to prevent a move from being hurt. She was trying to prevent a move because she didn't want to take a bump, and you could audibly hear Lyra yelling, "Let go, let go, let go." And then her very last match was with Io Sky, and she looked really bad in that. And that's hard to do. You have to really work at looking bad in a match with Io Sky.
I do want to say, Joker, with regards to the Lyra Valkyria, she is not a clean worker, and I can see a lot of people not want to take bumps from her. I mean, she's hurt some people before, you know. She's gotten better. Well, I mean, that match. What was it? That match when Naomi saved the early part of the match, basically.
Oh, that was the money in the
yeah, like Illyria had some early spots she basically missed on. She literally got shoved to the side by Naomi, who took over the early part of the match. And and there was a spot where she was going a little too fast, and Io properly sandbagged to keep the move. Yeah.
From so I'm not going to say that she is a brick. I think she got a little too excited. That's very possible. Now Blair Davenport is the confusing one, because she was brought up during the WWE draft from NXT. And this was just a bad move altogether, because she had 5 matches in her entire run, and they released her. Now there was, which was this kind of thing that they had no creative plans for her at all. And so my question always is, why would you bring someone up if you don't have a plan set?
I have something on this one. So I don't know. This came from Bubba Ray Dudley. So Blair Davenport,
saw that.
Connected to Ospreay. Whether they're just friends or boyfriend girlfriend, I don't know. But there is some. Bubba Ray thinks that there was some element of retaliation for Will Ospreay slamming Triple H repeatedly sometimes.
They were in a relationship years ago, is what I understood.
I sent it.
In ring, she was his valet. But I don't know if they were boyfriend girlfriend in real life, or if they're just friends. I don't know. I can't comment on that part of it.
Okay,
I'm reported.
Well, right now she's married. She's married to Riley Osborne, who was another talent.
Well, I'm saying back then when
Now we've kind of already got an idea of probably what her next plan is. When she was released the next day, she put on her social media just 2 words. It was top guy Jin, which is Japanese for foreigner. And before she went to NXT UK, she was doing a lot of work with Stardom, which is an all female Japanese promotion. More than likely, that's where she's headed back to. And just because you got released does not mean you will never come back to the WWE. As we found out on Monday on AEW, 3 talent got completely released. They are free and clear to pursue other options, and that is Namiro, who was known in the WWE as Rusev, Malachi Black, formerly known as Aleister Black, and Ricky Starks. Now, I had said in our group chat that Ricky Starks might show up this Saturday at NXT Vengeance Day, but what happens here?
Holy crap!
Well, I can explain this.
I dig it.
So
I can explain this.
you can.
Yes. What happened was Joker misread the date on the script he was given for Ricky Starks.
Okay.
He thought it said Saturday. It was Tuesday. So
Okay.
I mean, you got the dates mixed up. It happens. Maybe you had a new prescription for your glasses. I don't know. But whatever your script said, it actually said Tuesday, not Saturday.
Gotcha. Okay. There we go. So
Well,
go
the
on.
interesting thing here about this, with Rusev basically coming potentially out there, if he I know Cody did this, and others. If he comes back to WWE, does he demand that he gets to own the Rusev name? Because Cody has all rights to anything. Cody now, that's one of his bar deals coming back. And a lot of wrestlers now want their name to be their name. They learned from Vince.
Yeah.
So when they come into WWE, they don't want a WWE name anymore. They want their name. So that if they get cut or whatever, their popularity goes with them.
Gotcha.
I think AAA should be more inclined to do that because just the way he is, and
you
Vince,
would
of
say
course,
that, except they just registered 11 trademark names.
Yeah, that is
Correct.
true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I saw that.
So, and that is probably for the WWE ID talent. I mean, it would have to be up to a certain point of where you are. Like, if you're CM Punk, you're not going to take another name. Now, speaking of contracts, there is one contract that apparently fans and talent want the WWE to get rid of, and that's Def Rebel. They're the folks who do all the theme songs. And for example, Jordan Grace.
The bear photo came up. It
Yes.
said Def Rebel.
Because I'm
sorry.
yes.
I'm gonna say I'm uninitiated. I didn't know they outsourced this to one group.
Mhm.
One group does all the music.
Yes.
Oh
So-
wow! I'm sorry, I
so-
did not know that. Okay.
So before that, it was a group. It was a production company called CFO The Money, and before that, it was a guy named Jim Johnston,
Okay.
who was doing most of like your Attitude Era theme songs and Ruthless Aggression Era theme songs.
Yeah, they came up. What was it, like the late '90s? They came with the house band doing all the themes.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, just for an example, Def Rebel had come up with a new Randy Orton theme song, and Randy Orton listened to it for mere seconds and was like, "No, I don't care who you have to pay. I'm not using that." And again, you're Randy Orton. You have that
Mm-hmm.
kind of sway. So, I mean, and a hallmark of these Def Rebel songs is saying something right in the front so you know who the person is, because other than that, it's just a generic tune.
True.
So, the Bailey, it goes role model. Or with Tiffany Stratton, you hear Tiffy time right at the front. So you get these weird, like AI generated, just generic sounding songs where they all kind of sound the same, unless you are a Joshi or a member of the NOIE family, because those are all bangers. Those are all good. For some weird reason, they can get Japanese and Samoan people right. So
I'll say this: I hate Shawn Michaels' theme song. And I would rather listen to that over anything this band produces.
Which one? Really?
the
Sexy
only
boy.
one he's ever
Yeah.
had.
Sexy boy.
No, he had one.
Shit, man.
That he had one before that, but that blew
Oh,
up with you know.
Now-
He's
not
had Sexy Boy for way too long. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
know it's a
I've
classic.
hated it. I've hated.
I
Ever since I
love
heard
it.
Sherry
That's all I
start
need.
singing it, I've hated it.
But I mean, what is he going to be like? He's going to be 7 years old coming out to Sexy Boy if he's still working. I mean,
Yes. You gotta let them know. Remind the
True.
whippersnappers.
Simon Cowell does not do the albums anymore. No, he does not.
didn't Jimmy Hart do some stuff back in the day?
Yeah, he did. He worked with
Jimmy
that.
Hart, back before he got old, he was behind the scenes and everything.
Mhm.
Now, do you know someone who came up through NXT, Black and Gold, has not changed their theme song once? Has had the same theme song the entire time? It's Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh.
Huh. Okay. Given that it works.
Out there. But we're here to talk about what's coming up in 2.5 weeks to fill out the rest, at least the top championship matches for WrestleMania, and that is the Elimination Chamber. So we have had 4 matches, women's side, 3 on the men's side, and this will wrap up this week as of Monday, and this will be set for Toronto, Canada, to decide who will be challenging for the other title at WrestleMania. So we've got, for the women so far, we got the Bailey. He defeated Lyra Valkyria when Lyra Valkyria is not defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Okay.
Weird.
We got Alexa Bliss, the returning Alexa Bliss, who defeated Candice LeRae. Miss Bianca Belair, who defeated, doesn't really matter, she won. And Liv Morgan, who we're going to talk about in just a little bit. But now we've got 2 spots to fill. So we've got 2 matches left to go, one on Friday, one on the Monday.
So, Joker, this goes to your point about when you said Charlotte should have got into the Elimination Chamber. Okay, this is basically a steel cage match, and there are very rare women who could do good steel cage matches. Okay, we know Charlotte can, we know Bailey can. Both of them should be in this match, even if neither of them wins it. Okay,
Correct.
I mean, I love Alexa Bliss. Not just looking at her, I think she's a really good wrestler, but I don't see her doing well in a steel cage match. She's just too tiny to, and is not a luchador style wrestler. Same thing with Liv. She's tiny and not a luchador style.
Well, surprisingly enough, Liv has been in more Elimination Chamber matches than any woman on the roster, past or present.
Well, my point I'm making, though, is for a match like this to work for the women, you have to put at least half the women in there who can make the match work. And I don't think so. That's these last 2 spots are critical.
So we've got a match this Friday between Naomi and Chelsea Green. Now, really, it's really irrelevant as to who wins, because neither one is going to challenge Rhea Ripley for the title. Now, because the Elimination Chamber is in Toronto this year, I think the home country favorite, Chelsea Green, I think she would move. I think she would move forward unless they plan to do a match for the women's U.S. title there, or have something planned for her at the event. So I would say Chelsea Green.
Yeah, bolstering that, Joker, is Chelsea can do this style of match.
Okay.
And then on the Monday for the final spot, we have Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. If after the performance that Roxanne gave at the Rumble, if you think she's not going over on Raquel, you're crazy. Roxanne is going into this match.
Oh yeah.
Now, I did a video earlier today as to no, and all the matches are already set, and I would not bring Asuka back until after the WrestleMania, because bringing anyone back at this point is really just kind of setting them up to not be at the big show. That's why Jordan Grace will be spending some time in NXT for the time being, just so she can get in some reps and doesn't have to have the pressure of getting her onto the Mania card, which has pretty much been booked already for a couple months now.
Yeah. With the knee injury she had, a potential career ender. Although she could actually do this style of match, but
right. So, how many of these girls are willing to take a dive off the top of the cage onto the announcer's table? No one is, because the announcer's table is actually outside the structure. And I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but that table looks brand new and it looks a lot more sturdy than the tables of old.
Agreed.
It looks
Them things ain't folding.
I don't think anyone's taking a bump on that for some time.
I mean, after JD McDonough, I don't think anyone wants to be near that damn table.
No,
Agreed.
probably
well,
not.
Agreed.
he hit it at the worst possible.
I know he did.
I mean,
Just
So as we were saying, Alexa Bliss, good to see her back in action, but is she going to win this match? No. But Ailey,
no.
is she going to win this match? No, because she already has a WrestleMania program pretty much set in stone with who's going to win the match on Monday, and that is Roxanne Perez. Naomi or Chelsea, no. So that leaves it between one of these two, Bianca or Liv. Now,
but
Bianca and I'm going.
I have a question though, because your video, I didn't watch it. I saw the thumbnail. So
I will.
okay.
I will get.
He explains it.
Into this. We got here. I hate the way they're booking Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know if she's supposed to be a comedy actor. What? She's like the bumbling bodyguard, and this is more like with more to go with Liv's character being the cowardly heel.
She's a minion.
So
Minion.
let's start with the Bianca and Rhea. That is a money match. I would want to see that match. That would be a great match.
Well,
I do not think, however, this year that it's going to go that route, because Bianca's WrestleMania story is going to be directly tied to the who done it with a certain action figure that doesn't move very, very well.
I know who did it. It was Rikishi. Rikishi did it.
And that would be Jade.
Hilarious.
That will be Jade Cargill. So that leaves Liv Morgan. Now, a lot of folks are upset with that notion because they don't want to see Liv and Rhea again. Neither do I, as far as a singles match. Now, my thumbnail had Io Sky, and everyone is kind of upset because a lot of folks, Io Sky was the emotional favorite to win the Royal Rumble, and when she lost her qualifying match with Liv, which, by the way, I don't think Liv gets enough credit here because this girl is tough.
Mm-hmm.
This girl is tough. This is from Saturday night's main event. She took a knee to the face and she got a nosebleed. She's lucky. She's lucky she did not suffer a broken nose. We have here this was last week where the inside of her lip got busted up, and then this past the Monday. This was where also I think kind of where Raquel gets a little I've never liked the Raquel. She's very awkward. Your mic's going scratchy again.
Shit, my bad.
Okay, so and there was a spot where Raquel had lifted Liv up, and she's using her as a battering ram. And I believe that Liv's cut came from when she hit Dakai, because their ringer has clips and rings and metal on there, and I think it just caught Liv, and she had to get 5 stitches for that. So why mention Io Sky? Well, as I said at the beginning, Io lost in the qualifying match to Liv Morgan, which basically Liv and Io have had this little mini feud going. So, and she lost due to a disqualification from interference from Rhea Ripley. Now, at the start, if the start of the Monday Night Raw, Rhea and Io had a little face-to-face where Io said to Rhea, "You cost me WrestleMania." Looks at the title. It says, "I'm coming," and she says, "I'm coming for you." Later on in the show, they had a face-to-face again. Rhea says, "I don't owe you a thing, but out of respect, the Monday after the Chamber, keyword after the Chamber, it'll be me and you for the Women's World Championship." So the winner of the Elimination Chamber is going to be Liv Morgan. And so during the match, I predict that there will be shenanigans where Liv and Raquel either cause a disqualification or a no contest, and then Adam Pearce will then set it up. The Women's World Championship at WrestleMania will be a triple threat between Rhea, Liv, and Io. And Io had something to say last night as well.
見た？私がリブを倒したぞ。本来なら先週イリミネーションチェンバーのクオリファイケーションマッチでリブのことを倒してたはずなんだけど、残念ながらリアにそれを打ち壊されちゃったんだけど、でも今日私がリブより強いってことを実際に証明してみせた。リア・リプリー、私はあなたのタイトルに挑戦する権利がある。リア・リプリー、リブ・モーガン、まだまだイオスカイから目を離すなよ。
God, I love her.
I didn't know I knew Japanese. I understood that.
Right?
I did too.
Okay, and Ego has just let us know we are at 9 likes, 1 week away, 1 like away from another week of double-digit likes. If you have not hit that like and get to it, what the hell are you?
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
So that is where I think that the Women's Elimination Chamber is going. And last night when I was watching Raw and I heard Rhea and Io talking about a match, and at first I was like, oh God, that's just gonna be a match for Io to job her out. And then as I'm going through my notes, and the word after Elimination Chamber, and it just came to me. I saw the notes and I'm like, oh, there it is. So anyone find any flaw in my logic as where I think it'll go?
I don't.
Not
I
really.
mean, for them, I think it's going to go that way. I don't want to see Liv feud Rhea is done at this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Liv needs to do something else, then maybe circle back to Rhea.
Okay, but this match, this triple threat match, is really not about Rhea. It's about Liv and Io.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Okay, I'm just saying, like, from just looking at the storyline trajectory, the same way we got tired of Tiffany not dropping, not
Mhm.
cashing in for so long.
Cashing in, yeah.
I'm a little just tired of Liv circling Rhea, like the comment about hit the dinosaurs.
Okay, so
and
let me see if I can make this a little more palatable, because I personally, and I've said this numerous times, I'm a Liv Morgan fan, but Liv in a one-on-one is not a WrestleMania main event talent. She's
That
not.
is true. That is true.
Now, Liv in her recent feud with Io has been putting in some of the best work she's ever done, and that's also a tribute to Io. Io makes everybody look good.
Yes.
Now, Liv being the former champion, just recently removed from that title, it would make sense that she would want to get that title back. And now you've got this dynamic with Rhea and Io. So it just makes for a more interesting story. And it's, again, the story is really not going to be about Liv and Rhea. It's going to be everything aside from that. It's going to be Rhea and Io, Liv and Io. Now, I do think that if the WWE is going to have the titles switch brands, as having the A title on the A show makes sense, and Liv and Rhea are much bigger stars than Io is. Let's just be honest. I mean, they sell a lot more merch than Io does. Putting the B title on Io and sending Io to the B show makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us.
What's the B title though? What's the B title now?
What is that?
The B title is the Women's World Championship, the one that Rhea has.
Okay, for some reason I thought she had the WWE Women's Championship.
No, that is
okay.
That is Stratton. Now,
okay.
when what was it? Asuka was the Raw Women's Champion, and Rhea was the SmackDown Women's Champion. In the WWE draft, they got drafted to the other show. So when they recommissioned the World Heavyweight Championship for Seth Rollins, they just renamed the title that Rhea was holding the Women's World Championship. So that has always been the SmackDown title.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the WWE Championship has always been the Raw title.
Yeah, it was annoying when everything had the red and the blue on the title belts, but it was at least it was easy to identify.
Right. Alba Fire, probably not. However, she's still there for now. So now,
for some reason, I thought you were like, go.
So now that brings us to the other side of the coin, who we know will be challenging Cody Rhodes, the winner of the men's Elimination Chamber match. We have right here. Like I said, we've had 3 matches because one person just kind of inserted themselves, and that is John Cena. Now, already this is a pretty star-studded match to begin with. You got Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, who some people call the knockoff Hangman Page. I don't see it, but that's just me.
Me neither.
He doesn't. He wrestles more like Will Ospreay than anyone else.
That's what I'm saying. And the Second City Saint, CM Punk. Now we have 2 more matches for this. We have a triple threat match on Saturday between Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu, and Damian Priest.
On Saturday?
On Friday.
Oh, you said Saturday.
I'm sorry.
You said Saturday.
Friday.
Okay.
Friday. Now that will be on SmackDown. My personal thought: Damian Priest is going over just for the sheer fact that Jacob and Braun Strowman are just going to destroy each other.
They have their own program.
Yeah.
And then on Monday, Finn Balor or Pin Balor against Seth Rollins.
It's gonna be Seth.
You think it's going to be Seth? So
I think it'll be Seth as well. I'll be honest. In a program of Cody Rhodes, there's only one name that I am interested in, and that's CM Punk.
Yeah.
Because
if they let him win, because I don't. Cody as champion doesn't interest me right now.
well, I would say that Cody Rhodes. Okay, let's look at the 6 possibles here. So, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. No, there is no story there at all. Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. They had a really good match at King and Queen of the Ring last year, but that's about the extent of it. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. No, they were we have already seen that circa 2023 for 3 straight matches, and Cody won all 3. Cody and Damian Priest, there's no story there.
Okay.
So that leaves Cody and Cena or Cody and Punk. Cody and Cena. I could see how some fans want this match to happen because they want John Cena, his last WrestleMania. They want it to be for a title because they think for some reason John Cena is going to win his 17th title and go on a title run.
I can't.
Why? My answer to that is you have a story now brewing for an entire year. The quest for 17. Why do you want to blow your wad right now? So early in. So the only name that makes sense is Punk. Cody and Punk, that is a money match.
Hell yeah.
So, and again,
And also going
on.
further down the road, when you talk quest for 17, what if CM Punk wins?
Okay. They have a great.
SummerSlam.
I could see because SummerSlam is now a two-night event. We have King and Queen of the Ring, which the winners get a title shot for on the brand they're on. So again, assuming that the top titles switch brands, that would move let's say because Jey Uso is in all likelihood going to beat Gunther. Now you move Jey Uso to SmackDown.
B-brand.
So guess who's down in SmackDown now? Drew McIntyre and his bloodline demission statement. Move C and keep the A title on Punk on the A show. Cena and Punk is a great feud. They have had great
Little
matches.
history.
Little
bit of history. Little bit of history.
History there. I mean, from what if memory serves me correct, in a title match, Cena and Punk, Cena's 0-2 against Punk. There was the Money in the Bank, where Punk famously blew the Vince a kiss and walked out into
with the title
into the crowd, and then at SummerSlam, after Punk went away and they recommissioned a new title, gave it to John, and then Punk shows up 2 weeks later with his title, and they had a match at SummerSlam to determine who actually was the champion. So this is just what I'm seeing. I don't know what any of you guys think. Ego, what do you think as far as both sides of the coin, women and men?
I think you're right. I mean, I did see Roxanne winning and Chelsea winning to get into the Elimination Chamber. I do like a triple threat. I get it. I actually didn't know that there was a PLA between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. In my mind, it was always one happens and the other. So I was trying to figure out even what the hell Elimination Chamber was for. But now that y'all have explained it, okay, it makes sense. With that, a triple threat with between Liv, Liv, Rhea, and Io. Makes sense. I'd love for Io to win, and I was surprised as hell that she did not win on Monday.
So
Even rewatching it after what you said, like she lost. I'm like, but how? Where did she lose? And I'm like, really?
DQ.
It took the air right out. I'm like, damn. So I would love for her to get the title shot and actually cash in on this one. I missed out on the entire Cena era.
10 years? Wow. You missed it.
I was in school. I really was in school. Like I was in Philly from I think it would have been from 09 to 07 to like maybe 2020. So I mean, like I missed a lot.
Oh yeah, you were. Oh yeah, you.
I missed the whole era. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, well, so I'm only now catching up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
In your defense, it's best in review rather than having lived through it live.
Okay.
Yeah, like that CM Punk documentary I sent you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Like, yeah. Okay. If they have that, I'll watch it. So I mean, I know that word for word, Cena Punk, like when it comes to mic work, would be great to watch. It's just when it comes to the actual match, I don't know how it would fall flat to me, just from what I'm thinking. I would love CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, because that's going to be great. I don't know who's going to want it winning that one. I'd love for Punk to win it, so I like that. It's just again, because I missed out on the entire Cena era. It's just a shadow and a blank to me about putting him in here.
Okay, so Ego, I'll leave you out of this, but Brad and Matt. Cena during the Rumble, how gassed did he look?
Oh, he looks old. I mean, you can see his physical body. He looks old. You know,
he needs to condition. He needs to. I don't think he was ready for this.
No, I disagree. I think he's in condition for an old man. Like I don't know that he could get. Like, did you happen to Batista? Basically, I mean, the same thing happened.
Yeah. How old is he?
He is 47.
Cena's like 47, 48.
Okay.
Remember, not everyone ages like if you're an athlete. Some of them age tremendously in great shape into the 90s or whatever. But, but even working out, eating right only keeps you alive. It doesn't mean you're going to be in like competition shape till you're 70.
Performance. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so Brad, your thoughts on potential outcomes for both men's and women's elimination chambers?
Okay, scroll back up to the women's one for a second, if you can.
Do I have that on here still?
Yeah, it was right. That's right above.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I completely agree with what you're saying. Completely agree. I think you're spot on with how that's going to go, because I think that's going to be a really good match at Mania. Let me just say this: this is not. If I was these women, I'd go back to marketing and say, "Why'd you make us look like shit?" Because Alexa Bliss looks like a 45-year-old Botox Real Housewives of Orange County.
I didn't know that was
Bailey.
Her.
I didn't even realize it was Bailey. I mean, honestly, the only one who looks good here is Bianca.
Liv looks like Liv. Liv looks like
Liv.
Liv.
But they make her look like a CW Mean Girls type thing going on.
Well,
this is not a flattering thing.
Character.
I know. It's just. So I completely on board with that.
No, sir. No,
Dr. Thugonomics was cool. I love the Dr.
Thugonomics.
That was some fun stuff. So as to
the men,
I'm picking Punk. I think even when we were doing predictions earlier, I was picking Punk, and I'm still thinking that we're going to have like Punk and Cena at SummerSlam. Now Cena again has to get in better shape. He can do his 5 moves. But he's going to have to get in better shape to make it a believable match. Punk is still in good shape. Punk is like 45 years old, and he's going. 46. Yeah. He's going. You know, there are some guys that do that. The other thing is also Punk has been
in ring
wrestling.
Shape.
Yes.
He's also in ring shape.
What Cena is in Hollywood shape. So he's in shape to look good on the screen, the same way Batista was in Guardians. Now, you know, whether or not he ends up like Batista after he stops doing wrestling and whatever. Well, he's not gonna, because like Batista's trying to actually be a serious actor. John Cena is not. So he's gonna do his gimmick and stuff. But I think it's gonna be Punk. I think he's going to get a WrestleMania moment, and I think it's going to end up being just for pure nostalgia and tickets. It's going to be Cena and Punk if Cena can go.
Here's a thought. Here's what I think Cena's Mania match will. Here's what I think Cena's WrestleMania match will be.
I can see that.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
I don't know. I mean,
Matt, your thoughts. Matt, your thoughts on both.
I can see it. I don't
Your
know.
thoughts.
Good.
Your thoughts on both male and female.
well, on the
Elimination
female
Chamber.
one, I said most of what I think about it already. I think you're right about how it's going to turn out, but and I'll just share my one thought about why I would never be able to take a Bianca Belair Rhea Ripley match seriously. And I said on Joker's channel, Rhea Ripley's in-ring wrestling personality is very, very ruthless. Get things done. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, she's promo where she's gone to Rey Mysterio's house and attacked his family. Okay.
Right.
So if she's wrestling Bianca Belair with that stupid ponytail, Rhea Ripley's personality is to grab the ponytail, ragdoll Bianca Belair to unconscious, and choke her out with it. That's Rhea Ripley's personality. So I can't take
That
someone
should be
like,
what anyone does. I'm
well,
sorry.
but you can kayfabe it away in other matches, not with Rhea Ripley. Okay, so I could never see Bianca Belair facing Rhea Ripley for that. But otherwise, I think you're right about that match, Joker.
Okay.
Now, as far as the men go, I'm going to leave aside the who John Cena faced at WrestleMania thing for a later discussion. I think you're right in a lot of respects of the people in it. Who are the other two matches for the other two spots?
Finn Balor and Seth, and then a triple threat between Damian, Braun Strowman, and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I mean, unless Fatu gets a big push, which I don't think they want him losing WrestleMania this year, it most likely has to be Punk to win it. And then I think Punk wins the title if he wins it.
Correct.
And what I would do based on that is I would use that to heel turn Cody.
Homelander.
Oh,
Hard heel turn. Now, and my dream for that, now this is total fantasy booking right here, is he comes out the next night. CM Punk comes out the next night, and he's supposed to come out, but they just find his body laying in the background, like he's laying there unconscious, right? On the
You and bloody crap. I'm seeing, dude. That's like your shtick. Dude. I love it.
And then Triple H comes out playing a character now. A character. He goes, "There's always a plan B." And then you hear the Evolution music play. Cody comes out in his suit, and 3 other members of New Evolution come out, and that's a new heel faction.
I would gag. I would absolutely gag. That's just me, though.
happening.
No, it's not happening, but I want Evolution back because I want the theme song back. So it's
Motorhead, yeah.
Well, you know what though? I think you're right in the sense if Cody goes dark, if Cody turns heel, I think it would be a good way to bring back a new form of Evolution, and bring in some guys maybe coming up from NXT. The next Evolution,
which is interesting because this
that's
Saturday,
why I said 3 other guys. That's why I said 3 other guys.
Because Cody would now be the guy as like Triple H or Rick in the group.
Yeah.
Because this Saturday, NXT has a premium live event called Vengeance Day, which on its face is a very predictable premium live event. And I think this is going to signify a lot of people, some folks coming up to the main roster. I mean, your 2 main events, you have Oba Femi defending the NXT championship against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to win. Right. Extremely
He's not going anywhere.
Right. And then for the women's championship, you've got Julia in a fatal 4-way now, Bayley, Roxanne Perez, and Cora Jade. I wonder who's walking away with the title.
Bayley, she's going to unify all the titles.
No. But I think Roxy is coming up to the main roster. I think Cora is to there's nothing for Cora to do in NXT. There's nothing for her to do because she's not going to compete for the North American Championship, which is probably good after the Saturday is going to be around the waist of Stephanie Care. No one's taken that off of her for a while.
Her and Julia might be training that belt for next year.
What?
Her and Julia might be training that belt for next year, basically.
Maybe, yeah. And then you've got, and I could see there's a tag team championship match. I could see Nathan Frazier and Axiom dropping the titles and moving up to the main roster because they've gone through everybody down there.
Wow. Okay.
So there's no reason for them to keep them any longer. Now, all these call-ups, they'll appear after the they'll appear after the WrestleMania for the reason I said about Jordan Grace. There's no reason to have her on main roster TV right now.
Yeah, that's the Raw after, SmackDown after.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, you know what else is a wonderful thing? What? Yes, sir.
Before you do that,
what?
I just want to give 2 quick legal updates.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. Go ahead.
That's actually what I do. I read an article. I've not gone into it. I've not checked any pleadings, but it says end Vince McMahon investigation without indictment, according to his attorney. So it appears possibly the federal investigation into Vince McMahon may have ended. Again, this is just something I'm seeing. I'm not reading the full article. I'm not reading the full pleadings. The other thing I saw is coincidentally, Hulk Hogan, Real American Beer. There's a lawsuit involved. Apparently at a promo event, people were throwing out beers, possibly Hulk Hogan or other people on stage. Woman got hit in the head. So she's going to be suing the Hulkster and Real American Beer for damages, which I'm certain will, go into the millions of dollars because that's what ambulance chasers do. I am a lawyer.
This is why we have it. This is why we have him here, folks. And another reason we have him here is to contribute to what is the hallmark of this show. It is Wednesday Night's Overbooked Top 5. Again, I want to thank everyone who has been in the chat, paying attention, lurking. You guys have been great. We're almost at double-digit likes, so let's get those last few likes in. Again, check down below. I have not put our socials in yet. I will after the show, but we all have channels. I will put them all down there. I just hit 700, so to ensure that I don't go down to 600.
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
Just to keep the bots away. So we've got one more comment right here. Oh, this is somebody right here. Okay, so this week's topic was more of a body of work topic, and that is the top 5 talkers in professional wrestling. Not any one
You
specific.
said walkers.
That too. Talkers. Now, not one specific promo in general, but a body of work. Some of the best talkers in professional wrestling. Wow. Yes, he will. And
you're damn right.
And Kai, just so you know, he did the same thing for Jade Cargill too. So
I'll be like Andy on Toy Story. I don't want to play with you anymore.
So shameless. It's disgusting. Until Jade comes back.
Hey, one thing at a time.
Just wait until Stephanie makes the main roster. You're gonna be in trouble, sir.
Jade's gonna come back and storm.
I know I joked about it before, but I would pay money for Rikishi to be the one who hit Jade.
I did it for The Rock. I did it for the final boss.
No, they just show Bianca paying Rikishi money, and she goes, "What? He did it before."
That would be hilarious.
I would love it if that became just a gimmick. Rikishi just running over wrestlers.
All righty. So we're going to start with Mr. LeftEyeEgo here. Oh, and the way this works, we get some new folks in here. We do this every week. A top 5. We give a point value. Your number 5 pick gets 1 point, so on and so forth. So your number 1 pick gets 5 points. So at the end, our legal expert here tabulates the points, and we have a clear, definitive, scientific, set in stone best of for this category.
Very
so, Ego, I'm going to start with you. Your number 5.
Number 5,
best
man.
talker of all time.
It was harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm just for the nostalgia of it, I'm going to go with The Rock, just because for me it was the.
Apparently, he did go with The Rock and left for a while.
He was at 5, okay, and I was gonna give my reason, okay. It's playground smack talk, okay. It's you don't have anything better, so you just say "shut up, bitch," or "I'm better than you. I'm gonna make fun of your voice."
Seriously, no one cares.
I said he's at number 5, okay. I had him at 2 at one point, okay.
Whoa!
See?
Now kick him out. We can let him back in.
I get no respect or grace in this group, y'all. None, okay? All I'm saying is for the juvenile activity of smack talk, I have him at 5, okay? I had moved him back because Cooler Friends me failed, but I have him at 5.
Brad.
Go ahead and kick me.
No, you didn't do it.
Yes, I did. Kick me.
Yes. Knew I wasn't alone. Thank you.
Honestly, I was going the same way with Ego. I mean, honestly, I put him down there, honestly, because he became more gimmicky in the end. When he really started going, and I know Joker hates The Rock, but when he started getting going as a character, he was really good at it. He would give back and forth really good. And, I put him down there because he then became too much of a gimmick. It was too many of the same lines over and over again. But I'm looking overall at the body work, and I think Rock generally overall for his time period is one of the best talkers out there. I make it up later on.
Matt, save us, please.
The Rock is not even in my top 20.
Thank you.
Okay.
Harsh.
So when you announced this, I had literally typed out my list.
So badass.
I had literally typed out my list 30 seconds after you did this. Okay. So my numbers 2 through 8 or so are somewhat interchangeable. So like the 4 I'm going to give you, there's 2 or 3 other guys who are on a good different mood. I would swing one of them in there, But I'm going with the 5 I put as my top 5 last week, and only one name is flipping to maybe swap one of those guys out, but not enough for me to do it. So
Gotcha.
my number one, and there's no disputing that one. So my number 5. Let me get my list. My number 5. Where'd my list go? Oh, we go. Okay. My number 5 is Joey Styles.
Okay.
Legendary ECW announcer.
Oh, yeah.
Who would do the announcer promo, who check out constantly in their interview promos. But he wouldn't just do the standard ask questions. He would rib back and forth with the wrestlers. And the reason you could do that in kayfabe is it was known that if one of the wrestlers touched Joey Styles, Paulie would have his goon squad destroy that wrestler. So there was a kayfabe reason Joey Styles could actually mouth off. Okay, so it worked for him.
I remember a promo. It was during where Jerry Lawler came back, and Joey Styles just the shoot promo, and he went off.
So there were a couple of those, because what happened in real life is Joey Styles was getting tired of calling WWE. He because it was too scripted. Okay, and he said, but he wanted to work with WWE in the background when he was WWE's social media manager successfully for over 15 years, basically. Mm-hmm. And so Vince loved Joey Styles. So Vince was like, okay, I'll let you have your say in a shoot promo or whatever. So Joey did a couple little ones build up to it. They did when the King came back. He did what some people call the first pipe bomb or the Goomba bomb promo, or
Mhm.
there's a couple other names for it, where he just went off on the King, on I Can't Go Backlash, like the whole routine as he was walking out and he quit WWE. Really went on to work 15 years behind the scenes, and to get away with that, to do that, you either have to be making so much money, like for Vince, like Brockwood, or Vince has to love you. Okay, there's no in between, and that's when he's number 5.
Okay, my number 5 would have been. It was a toss up, and I finally went with this person because of their so good at such a young age. It's MJF.
Okay.
MJF is an amazing talker.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. One of the best promo storytellers, frankly, that AEW has.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was teetering between him and KO. I mean, the work KO has been doing of late is just top notch as well. But MJF, for how young he is, and he's going to get better and better and better, he's just going to be moving up these lists. So MJF at number 5. All right, Ego, you have a chance to redeem yourself. You're number 4.
Chris Jericho?
I can see that. I can see that because
I'm kidding, Ego.
Okay, great. I was like, damn.
Hold on.
Tough crap.
Ego, let me ask this. Were
Yeah.
all your choices primarily WWE people? Because that's what I went with. I did WWE.
Well, the thing is, I was confused at Talker because I didn't know you could include announcers in it too. So I was like, they're primarily WWE, and I was trying to go as recent as I could, at least within the last maybe 5 to 10 years. Even with what all their mic work, I'm thinking like the last 5 or 10 years, or at least from what I've seen since I talked to y'all.
Okay.
I had Chris Jericho just for his ability to constantly reinvent himself with the promos that he does wind up doing. What's it called?
You made the list.
The
list.
Yeah.
Oh God, the
Scarf Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Y2J, Le
Festival of
Champion.
Friendship.
Yeah, like he's got so many.
That list gimmick when KO came on board, you could see it coming a mile away in a good way.
What about the moves?
That's what I'm talking about.
The moves that he did in WCW.
Yeah. Okay.
When he cut away.
And Chris even said, I did not expect that to go over at all.
Yeah, it's just he wants it making a physical look to go with his mic work. Like there's no way that the long hair Jericho that's clean shaven you could do the list. It's that douchebaggy ex boy band
Von Dutch, the Von Dutch
yes, look. With the ugly scarf, it totally works. So he's been able to reinvent himself, and that's why I got him at 4.
Okay, you redeemed yourself a little bit here. Brad, you're number 4.
I'm going with Punk at number 4.
Ooh, so low! Wow.
That I got people higher.
Really?
Punk to me, the thing that I like about Punk is obviously he's very quick. And hey, Joe, he's also real, which I think is what made him connect with everybody. Like, clearly the pipe bomb. Everyone knows the pipe bomb. But even still now, we're like just this week. I mean, it was who is he out there with? He was out there with Logan Paul. And he's like, dude, you're getting booed louder than Dominic. Jesus. He's able to catch on and do it real quick. That's a talent that you can't teach. You cannot teach that. I saw Horny out this weekend.
Nice.
In person. He exists in person.
Wow.
Nice. So yeah, I got Punk at 4.
All right, Matt, you're number 4.
CM Punk.
Punk again. Okay.
Now, all the guys on my list, of my top 8, let's say, really goes. This is why The Rock is in the top 20. Okay, when the crowd does something like a what chant or wants to take the promo a certain way, these guys know how to interact with the crowd in a constructive way. Okay, so if a what chant starts, CM Punk knows he has to grab the what chant and make it his own. Just like Stone Cold would or any other guys on my list. And Punk's also great at making the verbal equivalent of posting for the other guy. So another guy is kind of who really isn't great at promos is doing his sort of promo. Punk knows how to feed him lines to make the guy look good. Punk's, he had a lot of great stuff to his name. So that's what Punk's promo for.
All right. My number 4 is a bit of a maverick in a certain era. We're talking the rock and wrestling era, the Hulkamania era, the golden era, whatever you want to call it, where promos are just bombastic.
I think I know who
big personalities. And then you've got a guy who's quiet, almost a whisper, sadistic. It's Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake Roberts was phenomenal. He wasn't the most physically imposing guy, but the way he talked, you were scared of him. It's just the command he would give you because he would like, come in closer. I want to talk to you.
He was a sociopath.
Yes, and it's wonderfully done. And again, in the era of big personalities, big bombastic, such a refreshing change from that. So Jake the Snake for me is at my number 4. Ego, you're number 3.
Number 3, I think this is probably like maybe the very first promo that I heard. And the weird thing is that the person that's credited with this didn't even say it. I heard my dad say this. I got Ric Flair at number 3.
Ooh!
Yeah, so it's a weird thing. Like, all I know is it was WCW, and like I see this guy come out in this big ass robe, it's shiny and shit, and fireworks are going off. And I read the name because I can only be reading for like 2 or 3 years, and I'm like, Ric Flair. My dad from the other room is woo, and there's the whole Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing,
high flying,
jet flying.
Oh my God! My dad spit the whole damn thing.
Wheeling and dealing, kiss stealing, son of a gun.
Woo! Yeah, and he gave me 2 good woos for measure, and then walked right out. And I'm like, I have to watch the rest of this match now. I'm hooked in on Flair. So just because he's always at a seemingly high 10 for whatever he's doing, and you're gonna get at least 1 or 2 woos guaranteed, I got him at number 3.
All right, Brad, you're number 3.
Number 3's name is Paul Heyman.
Oh, Heyman.
Yeah. I mean, even now, he just is perfect. The way he sells it is amazing. And to see his evolution, I mean, when he was crazy and wild, Paul E in ECW.
Paul E
and then how he's dangerous. That's right, Fred. Paul E dangerously. And then, coming to WWE and then doing commentary and then going on to become the advocate for Brock Lesnar. And now the wise man. He's continued to evolve his character, but has always maintained the same level of quality of promo. And, there's so many managers out there. I mean, Bobby, you could put Bobby Brain Heenan up there. I mean, how can you not? But when it comes to managers and the way Paulie's done it consistently for 40 years now, you can't deny Heyman's at the top guy.
Okay. Brad, I'm not Brad. Matt, you're number 3.
Yeah. You guys mentioned Heyman and Flair. They're in that 2 or 3 who rotated and went 2 to 5, like moved for me. But anyway, my number 3 is the once and future legend himself, been mentioned before, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. I mean, on one hand, we want AEW to succeed so it has a competitor, but MJF needs to go to WWE where he will have his career put over because he is the one person, comments of in-ring skills and promo and all that, who might be able to surpass the person number 1 on my list in terms of promo ability. Okay? But he is the greatest heel promo guy of all time. He is already at the age of 27 or whatever he is, 28, 29. He is a great face promo guy, though he's a natural heel. Has skills in the ring too, and so he's my number 3.
My number 3. If WCW was the Trinity Broadcasting Network, their head pastor would be the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes was an amazing promo. And he had it was because he had this televangelist quality to him. And
hot times.
Hot time. My gut a little too big, my honey maybe a little too big, but I know that if you watch the TV, if you could touch that screen and send me your power of energy, I know that I can beat that Ric Flair. And he had that lisp the entire time. It was just absolutely wonderful and one of the best storytellers. And even when he came over to WWF at the time, and Vince gave him just a shit gimmick, the yellow
polka dots.
And Joe agrees with us.
Yeah. When you hear MJF, he's coming.
Yeah, and you're right. Cody has a bit of that lisp as well, but just to take a shit gimmick and make it work and get yourself over, and he was just some of the best promo work for someone who was not known in the mainstream, because he was out. He was like in WA, WCW, just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. All right, Ego, you're number 2. You're on a good streak now, so let's see if we can keep this going here.
All right, who from the Attitude Era can I bring up to piss off JV?
I
I got Kevin Owens. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's Kevin Owens. I'm sorry. I was this close. No, I did Kevin Owens. I like
Shane McMahon.
God, I was there.
Who said Shane McMahon?
I was kidding. I knew he was going to say Shane McMahon from the Attitude Era.
No. I got Kevin Owens. His
Wasn't
mic
Shane
was
like 15 in the Attitude Era?
Basically, kind of, a little bit.
Who, me? Yeah.
Okay, but Ego, go on.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, Kevin Owens, especially the work that he's been doing, like maybe the last 5 or 6 months, it's been very raw and something that's, out of the mouth of the fans into his heart and back out with some aggression and tinge of, hurt in it. I mean, his feud with Cody Rhodes could have really gone on much longer than it did, and it would have been justified because he can actually bring that into any match that he has. It's just that, with what he's got, what he had with Cody, what he's got to go with Sami Zayn now, he can make a match seem bigger than it is just because of the way that he talks and has aggression towards his opponent. So I got him at number 2.
I like it. And Kevin Owens is right.
Yeah.
Brad.
Kevin Owens did nothing wrong.
Brad, you're number 2.
I'm going with a jet flying, limousine riling, kiss stealing dude, Ric Flair.
Woo!
I mean, come on. You could he lived the gimmick and he was perfect in the gimmick. No matter who he faced, he always maintained the gimmick. But what's really impressive is how later in his career, he would use his mic work, his skills as a talker to put over the next generation. So you go watch like Evolution. So he's still doing Rick, but he's putting over, Batista. He's putting over Randy. And he's using that because he knows how powerful his words are as a wrestler, as a talker, and he's using that to promote not just himself, which he did fantastically back in the day, because that's what he needs to do as a wrestler, back going from territory to territory to become the man, not Becky Lynch, the man, the actual man. But he brought it to the next level and adapted it to use it to promote the next generation. It's just bottom line, totality, great work of a career.
I like it. Matt, you're number 2.
So my number 2 is, aside from MJF, the best wrestler to have never been in WWE. It's a shame because given his age, probably not going to be there now. And he's done such great work over the past 30 years. He is a master of the promo. When he invented Black Machismo with the consent of Randy Macho Man Savage's family.
Jay
And
Lethal.
Yep, Jay Lethal, my friend. And if you want to see the funniest promo of all time in a good way, because Jay Lethal also did Ric Flair in a respectable way that Ric Flair loved. Okay, it's the woo-off between Jay Lethal and Ric Flair in TNA. Just go Google it. It is the funniest. And it was totally ad-libbed by both of them. That people understand this. They both ad-libbed that promo. Okay, they said afterwards, I didn't know what he was going to say, and I was just responding to it. But that's not just the only reason. Even to this day, he does great promos. But he knows how to work the crowd. He has a natural cadence to his voice where like his voice doesn't break or anything. Like, a lot of these guys, you can have a kind of scruffy voice and do promos. Jay Lethal has a perfect voice, and he can do other voices, but it's just amazing.
Exactly. And Joe, I do remember Bray Wyatt. If this would have gone into a top 10, Bray is definitely in my top 10. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
And he also liked your Jay Lethal. Right there.
Yeah, they threw their shoes at each other.
My number 2. Again, a body of work. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. That's all I have to say. But again, he adapts to whatever the situation needs. When he was in charge of ECW, he was the master. He was the master of the shoot pro. He was the master of the shoot pro. Master of the shoot pro. Omo. When he was the advocate for Brock Lesnar, he was the mouthpiece. Brock was not great on the mic at first, so he had someone talk for him. When he was now with Punk didn't need a mouthpiece. Paul basically just held up the belt and was just kind of. And then with Roman Reigns, at first he was the mouthpiece, and then as Roman came into his own and really developed the character, he became more the glue that kind of held the bloodline together, and it's just the backstage pro almost up, and just his facial expressions, the way he talks. When he was in charge of the Samoan SWAT team as Paul E. Dangerously, he is such a chameleon, as he can adapt to whatever the situation needs him to be. Phenomenal, and does not get enough credit just for the mind for professional wrestling that he has.
I actually have the Paul Heyman documentary that WWE put out. If anyone would like to see it, it is really good.
You should drop that in our private.
I can do a Dropbox later on.
Please do.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Ego, we've come to our top 1. So let's see what you got, sir.
All right. So there are 2 people that I never want to get into a verbal back and forth with. One is Shiro, and the other is CM Punk. If you ever put anyone against Punk on the mic, Punk is automatically winning. You just don't know where it's coming from. It's like in a verbal fist fight, he's got overhand rights, overhand lefts, sneaky uppercuts, and dangerous hooks. I still don't know how I would ever live down the line that my arms are too short to box with God. I'm retiring. I don't know what to say. We have to fight in real life after that. Like, my arms are short, bitch. Like, I'm swinging.
Who did you say that? And who did you say that to?
The Rock. I'm not even gonna lie. That out of nowhere, that floored me.
Duh.
Rock gotta quit. You are the boulder or the pebble.
Could have said it to Henry.
You can't go by the
Cavill,
Rock
too.
anymore. So yeah, I mean, he's got every time I see him, his mic work looks better and better. Not saying that he's gotten better and better. It's just every time I watch it, he gets better and better to me. Where I don't even know I would want to be put in the ring with him. I'm like, hey, don't even put me in the ring with him when we're talking. Just have us wrestle. I cannot take this verbal abuse before I'm gonna get the GTS. So I've got him number 1.
Gotcha. Brad, you're number 1.
My number one, let me preface this by starting this. This weekend I was at MegaCon. And when I was at MegaCon, I got to talk to all the FNT, G&G people. And I spent about 10 minutes talking with Disparu about a lot of things, a lot of Star Trek, incredibly talking.
By the way, I saw your vlog and you were talking to Jeremy about wrestling. Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, I know you say you want to talk about wrestling. Come on, you might learn something because I have heard your takes. They all suck.
Oh, that's not nice because he said he remembered you when I said your name.
Okay. Well, still, come on and learn something. So
the takeaway. So one of the things this Bruce said about doing streaming and doing YouTube is the most important thing is to be authentic. To be authentic, to be your true self. And that leads me to a quote from a certain Codius Rhodius. People will say it's the lisp or the rhyming. It's not. It's where it came from. It came from that spot deep in his belly that was real. That was Dusty Rhodes. We've already talked about, the Hard Times promo and everything. Dusty Rhodes, you look at Dusty Rhodes, he's not the wrestler that Vince McMahon would ever want. He doesn't look like the physical specimen that should be a pro wrestler. So what he did is he had to combine what he did physically with his personality. And his personality to me is what put Dusty Rhodes over as a character for 40 plus years. So over was his promo work that he taught the promo class at PFC, at not Pure Fusion crap, the Performance Center in Orlando and NXT. People loved going to the promo class by Dusty. Why? You weren't learning from some jamoke off the street. You weren't learning from The Rock. You were learning from Master Yoda, the guy who mastered the promo 40 years.
And Jeremy, if you're watching, please come on. I've heard your takes. I don't agree with your takes. It's all in fun, but please come and learn a few things. Okay, Matt, you're number one. You're muted.
You're muted.
Like I said, number one was number one. There was no in between with this for me. Got a bunch of guys rotate for those 2, 8, 9 slots. But when I first heard this promo on Screechy UHF boosted antenna when I was, 12 years old or whatever, and I didn't even catch the beginning of it until the replay a couple of days later. Hot times.
Dusty Rhodes, okay.
The natural Dusty Rhodes. Many wrestlers would tell you he's their idol for doing promos. He taught them how to. They didn't know how to even do promos until this is why Dusty is a legend in NXT and other training areas, because he taught guys how to do this stuff. And you can hear it in the guys he trained. Even years after he's dead, you can hear the Dusty Rhodedness, so to speak, of their promos. It's hard to go. You have to go digging for his work now in YouTube and whatever, unless you have, I guess, W Network or Peacock and go diving into the archives, But then again, he did a lot of indie work that's not in those archives. So, and he's to me the master of all time of promos. He can make anything work. He knew how to work the crowd. He knew how to work his gimmick. He knew how to work his opponent. So that's why number one to me is the natural Dusty Rhodes.
Okay. We have a clear number 3, a clear number 2.
You haven't given your number. You haven't given yours yet.
My number 1? Okay.
Yeah.
It's the second.
Rock, we know.
It's the second City Saint, CM Punk. I mean, again, just real as real can, and can adapt to anything. And is one of the masters of the shoot promo. I mean, the pipe bomb changed the way promos were done from here on out. And the man can just cook anybody. Mm-hmm. And you are better coming out of a program with CM Punk than you were going in. Case in point, Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre became a star working with CM Punk. He was a good in-ring talent. He has become a complete performer from working with CM Punk. And again, I love the promo because I'm swinging for the fences, and when you step in the ring with the champ, you're going to find out that your arms are just too short to box with God. Again, ego, I agree. It's like, all right, I'm done. Okay, I'm good.
I quit, man.
I quit. I'm done.
We have a match no more.
So that's my number one. And as I said, we have a clear number three, a very close between number two and number one.
Yeah.
Number three with 7 points. Woo! The Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Mhm.
Number two with 13 points. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Barely beaten by.
Oh, that's adorable, Roman. That's so adorable. That's so cute. When did Andre die? Like,
Andre was actually pretty good at the promo, by the way.
yeah, he was. And
Better than The
barely,
Rock.
and as Brad said, barely at number one by 1 point, 14 points, is the second City Saint, CM Punk.
Yeah.
So,
Now, yes, sir.
just before we, because people don't think we're shitting over The Rock just for purpose of shitting over The Rock, okay? Just to be objective about it, the problem with The Rock is his promo is the same thing every single time. Like, if you hear The Rock's promo
Same
once
with
a
Hogan.
year, well, eventually it became that. But, like, if you listen to The Rock's promos, like, every week, you get tired of it. Now, if you hear it once a year,
Fair.
following The Rock has returned, okay, fine, I'm cool with it. But every week, every SmackDown, following The Rock has returned to SmackDown, that was on last week, you know? I mean, you just get tired of the same thing over and over again, you know?
And, well, according to everything that I'm hearing, AJ's quite happy being an author and doing her own thing. So if she
Taking
wants
care
to
of the
come,
dog.
if she wants to come back, I'm sure the WWE would have her back with open arms.
Mm-hmm.
And also, thank you again. We've had double digit likes again for the 6th week in a row. This is awesome. Thank you, guys. We cannot do this without you. But it is time to wrap up the show. So we're going to go around the horn here. Mr. If It Rains and Pours on Matt, the unbearable 73. What do you got coming up, sir?
Tomorrow night, we will be on Joker, Ego, and I will be on Roman's show, Roman Empire, where we're talking about the movie Life Force, sci-fi classic in the 80s. Obviously, I'll be here next week on Wednesday is Overbooked. I'm going to try to do a short video for my own channel. I haven't been done in months. Depending on my health, I'm working my way up to sitting at the chair more and more. So hopefully, maybe this weekend I'll have a little video. I don't know what it's going to be about, but something. And that's kind of what's going on.
Gotcha. Mr. Duke Devil 95, who confirmed that the girls at Chapel Hill are hotter than the girls at Duke.
I don't see a problem with that. That's a well-known fact.
Okay.
Back in my day. And I will get hate from like my Duke female friends. But anyway, I will be here next week, of course, for Wednesday Night Overbooked. Tomorrow night, I will be on Static 2020's weekend pregame. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I will have another episode of Wormhole Watch where me and my buddies watch Deep Space Nine. We started from the beginning. We're going through the entire series. That comes out every Wednesday morning. And this weekend, probably Friday, I'll be going to seeing Captain Black, Falcon, African American, whatever we're calling it, and saying why apparently it is a very, very mid movie according to Rotten Tomatoes and the actual critics.
That's been generous. And finally, Left Eye Uso.
Yes. I think I might be joining you guys tomorrow night with Roman the Empire. Dude, I gotta double check. I had to cancel because it was supposed to be tomorrow night. Then I had dinner and we gotta reschedule that. So I'm gonna try
Boring.
explaining this, but I'm gonna try. I called Roman after I saw Life Force and I had some choice words, right? I was mad confused. But anyway. this weekend. My latest video in the last month or two, it's gonna be about Cobra Kai and involves me in a wig. So strap on for that.
Strap on. Wow.
Don't say strap on.
You know
dude.
what?
Are you
I
doing?
regret what I said at the end of that.
Yeah,
sentence.
we regret that as well.
That's fair.
Don't let's not tell Shiro you said that.
Wow.
Dude, that's what I gotta check. Let me check with Shiro because things might get moved around. I'll let you know.
Okay. So, as made me laugh. That was great. So, as we said, with Romany of the Empire tomorrow, myself and Matt, possibly Ego, if the wife will let him out to play, we will talk about the corny sci-fi film, the very naked film Life Force. Again, I don't know how we're going to get that through the YouTube answers, but it should be an interesting discussion. And of course, I will be covering NXT's Vengeance Day this weekend. Also, be sure to check us out Wednesday Night is Overbooked, where next week's top 5 worst pro wrestling gimmick character. Whatever.
Oh God, already got the number 1.
We've got there's a lot of them, folks.
Oh, there's one for sure.
This is going to be The Rock.
Should be interesting to say the least. So until then, from all of us here at Wednesday Nights Overbooked, we wish you have a great rest of your week. Keep talking, keep smiling, and until next week, toodles.
Here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Ah!